These are recordings for the Intlagapam Gene class at NBIT. These are part of the language certificate and the language diploma in fluency. I didn't get the name quite right there. I'm going to start with all the different sounds, and I'm going to be giving you a sample of the words in initial position. The first one is the glottal stop, which is very common in many languages. In English, it's just not written. And the way to make that sound is basically just And in English, a lot of English words that begin with a vowel actually have it. It's just that we don't need to write it in English. But in Intlagapam, we need to write it. So the first one, upnecht, upnecht. Ch or ja, which is written as a C, jitu, jitu. C apostrophe, ts, ts, tsald, tsald. C with a dot underneath it, basically meaning that the tongue is retracted. That is, the tongue is lowered and moved back, and that would be tsa, tsa, zanmin, zanmin. Then the next one is the gamma, which kind of looks like a little bird. Some people have referred to it as a little bird, and that's a new beacon, new beacon. The glottalized gamma, which has an apostrophe after. It's not that common in Intlagapam. Shape, shape. The H, chumel, chumel. Honey, honey. The K, which sounds a little G-ish, ganem, ganem. Gatlash, gatlash. The K with a little raised W, rounded K, gwanda, gwanda. Gwanj, gwanj. The K with apostrophe, glottalized K, caped, caped. The K with an apostrophe and a little raised W, glottalized rounded K, quanash, quanash. The L, Lauxten, Lauxten. Lishek, Lishek, Lecht, Lecht. Leshapik, Leshapik. The L with an apostrophe, glottalized L, Stillacht, Stillacht. That's really an Okanagan word, an Okanagan loan. L, L. And then L with the dot underneath it. It's a rare sound in Intlagapam Gene. I don't even have a sample word of it in initial position. Then the next one, slurpy L, L with a bar, lateral fricative. Sleepsham, sleepsham. Schwecht, schwecht. The glottalized lambda, or some people locally have referred to it, the little man. Runny little man, I think is what some people have referred to it. An E. M, managed, managed. M apostrophe, glottalized M, N. Remember that's said with the tongue right behind the teeth. And the example that we have, niwa, niwa. Nacht, nacht, nacht. N apostrophe, glotalized N, ak, ak. P, B-ish sound, Beckham, Beckham. P apostrophe, glotalized P, Akam, Akam. The Q, uvular stop, and it said further down in the throat. Compared to the K, this is a Ka, Ka, Ka. So lower your jaw, actually move your jaw back, Ka, Ka, Ka. Kasmin, Kasmin. Kamd, kamd. Kamish, kamish. Q apostrophe, it has a bit of a popping sound. There's closure. Echt, echt. Eetmin, eetmin. Kalipshish, kalipshish. Kalza, kalza. Q with raised W, rounded uvular stop, rounded Q. Qua, 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 qua. Quanjut, quanjut. Q with the apostrophe and a little raised W, glotalized rounded uvular stop, glotalized rounded Q. Coached, coached, coached. Sh, written as an S. It's written as an S because this sound is much more common than the S. So most of our words that are written with an S actually is a sh, because it's more common than the sa. Shaya, shaya. Shema, shema. S dot, again the tongue is lowered. Sa, sa, sout, sout. Sol, 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 sol. T or D-ish sound, duped, duped. T with an apostrophe, glotalized T. I couldn't find a word that begins with that letter. It's quite rare in Intlekepmuk. In fact, most of the words, it seems, that have that probably were borrowed from one of our neighboring languages. The next one, I don't usually write it, but I think I'm going to start writing it just so that people can actually see the difference. And that's a th. I don't have one in initial sound, but you'll often hear it in words like githa, githa, the, compared to giz'a, which would be written with a Z. W, Wiktchen, Wiktchen. Wucht, wucht. Glotalized W, W with an apostrophe, wickham, wickham. The X, it's almost like you were clearing your throat. There's a little fishbone stuck in your throat. It's the upper part of your throat. Cha'a. Cha'a, and hitlich, hitlich. The same sound, but now with a raised W, so their lips are rounded again. Huapit, huapit. Then the X with a dot, now that's said further down here. It's said in the same place as the Q, but there's a little bit of friction. Chazum, chazum. And then this same sound, but with rounding of the lips. And that would be the rounded uvular fricative or the rounded X with a dot. Juand, juand. Then the Y, yamit, yamit. And then the Y with an apostrophe or glotalized Y, ya, ya, ya-eng, ya-wich, ya-wich. And then Z, zuid, zuid, zouten, zouten. And then the Z with an apostrophe, zoots, 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 zoots. I need a little bit of help there, so I probably will have this re-recorded. Then the pharyngeal, I saw a reference to it not too long ago as AW, but it's more of a as if you were at the doctor's office and they had one of those sticks in your throat. Rap, rap, arch, dash, arch, dash. And then the pharyngeal with the little W, white, white. And then the pharyngeal with apostrophe, glottalized pharyngeal, azupsh, azupsh. And then the pharyngeal with an apostrophe and the rounded lips, okun, okun. These are all the sample words that were on the chart that I've handed out. I've noticed a few typos, so I will correct these forms that I've written. Subtle little errors, but I think it's important to get them corrected. I'm done now.